Okay, so basically, what velocity is how it makes this line. So, okay, I'm gonna go through like just how I would sync this clip. So first you got the music, right? So I just picked like a song that'd be like pretty easy to sync to because it's just kind of consistent and you can clearly hear the beats, you know. And then I found this is one of Zelta's clips that he tweeted out. He tweeted out like the drive link. Um, so basically, what I would start off by doing, right, is you click on the clip and you right click, and then you go to switches and disable resample. And if you don't disable resample, it'll look really stupid. It'll look like this. Once you do some velocity, hold on, let me just show you. It'll look really weird. Like, you see all like the warping? Like, I don't know, it's kind of hard to see, but you don't want it on because it ruins the clip basically. So first thing you do is switches, disable resample. The second thing I would do is trim the clip to where there's not too much before or after it. So like he gets a kill right here, but it doesn't really mean anything. So I would go to right about there when he's like about to like hit the clip, you know. And so I would cut it by pressing S and then click on this part and press delete to get rid of it. And so next, I'd probably trim like the end of it so he hits the clip, shoots, and that's about it. So again, press S to cut so you don't have to like right click and hit split because it's just a waste of time. And then click over here and you press delete. Also, after every time you do something, like hit Control S because it really sucks getting super far into an edit and then it crashes and you realize you haven't saved in half an hour and then all that work's gone. So like save after like almost everything you do. And so then what I do is mute the audio and try to sync, or I might not sync, but mark out where you're gonna sync it. So like it's 5 shots. So I would probably go like the first shot, you know, I do the first beat. Oh, whoops. Let me do that. So first shot, I'd probably go in here, and then you press M to add a marker, and definitely you want to use like so many markers because it's helpful. You know what I mean? And I'll try to like sync it maybe a little different than normally, but just to show you like really how to use velocity. And so basically wherever there's a beat at the start of it, like as you edit more, you'll start to just pick up on like what looks like, you'll be able to look at it and you just know what the sound is or like what type of sound, you know. And so I'll put some markers there, and I like to go right, don't sync up the first shot without velocity with it. I would go right before it, and then what you do is you right click, insert remove envelope, velocity, and so that adds this green bar. And basically what the green bar is how fast your clip is. So right now there's a point at the beginning and it says it's 100%. If you go down, you see it's getting slower because it's going down a percent. So right there it's at 52% of what it normally is, and it's really slow, right? And so it starts out 100, and you can create more points by just double clicking on it. And so I would go like right before it, and then I would put a point on the actual marker where I want the shot to be, and you just kind of go up. You know, you want it to speed up right before the shot, and then he shoots, and then it slows down after. And so in order to know when to sync it, you see right there the bullet counter. Whenever the bullet counter goes down one, that's when you should sync. So see right there, right, the frame before there's a bullet right there, the frame of no bullet. And so that's when you should, like, that's where it should be on the beat, you know. And so, and then I'd put one back here, and once you create a point, if it's not, that's at 210, you know what I mean? So I double click to make that. If you double click it, it goes straight to 100%. So I double click again to bring it back to 100, and then it looks like this. You know, so it's synced but doesn't look like amazing, like it is not beautiful. And so what I would do here is if you click on the line in between 2 points, this comes up, and you can put slow fade or fast fade, like all these different fades. I like to do slow fade in, right click here, fast fade out, and it gives it like a different look because it goes just, you know, it looks more natural, like to me at least. Or you could go fast fade, which I'm not a big fan of. Also, slow fade slows your clip down, fast fade speeds it up. Like that, I don't really like how that looks. So I go slow fade and then sync this back up, because slow fade makes it to where you have to sync as if your clip is slower. And a good rule of thumb, if you need the clip to be faster, drag this point farther this way, like towards the start of the clip, and drag this higher up, and that's how you get it there. And so another like layer above just syncing the shots would be to sync where he pulls back the bolt. It just kind of like looks good in an edit. So you can drag this down to 66. Try not to go below 45. If you have to go to 38%, do it. But try not to go below 45 or else it starts to look choppy. And so if you want to sync the bolt pullback, I would go down probably like 52. Yeah, so you see, now I have it to where on this beat where I want him to pull back the bolt, he hasn't pulled it back yet. But that's because in order to create impact, it has to be slow and then fast. If it's just the same speed the whole time, sure, it's synced, but there's no actual impact. And so it's not like, wow, he just pulled back the bolt. Like, that was sick. And so, you know, you make a point, drag up, and so in the preview, the bolt is all the way pulled back. I would do a slow fade because I really like how that looks. At another point, double click to get it on 100, slow it back down, fast fade. Slow fade in, fast fade out, and then now this is what it looks like. So now this is synced, and then he pulls back the bolt right here. And then what I would do is on this beat, make him start scoping in and then shoot right here. And I know I've been like rambling a lot, so I'm only going to sync those two basically. And so this, you don't really have to do like a whole lot to make him start scoping in and sync that. Like, you just do a little beat, and then right here, you see how this is on 66? I would put this one just a little bit higher, just so it's like, oh yeah, he just started scoping in. So now it's this. And then you can sync this shot. And so again, you look for, actually, okay, this is a good example, because right there, that's synced. That's on the frame that this goes away. But there's no, it goes from 72% to 93% in 7 frames, which is, there's no impact at all. It's just kind of like, it just looks normal. So what you do, if that happens, you drag this down, and what that does is it makes everything slower, so you can make this, so you have to make this faster in order for it to sync. And then look, now you see that's like so much impact. Like you're gonna know he shoots, you know what I'm saying? And so then at another point, double click it down to 100%, go here, fast fade out. And so now this is what it looks like. Hold on, I don't really like that. But you know what I mean? Like, you get it. You get it. Right there, that didn't look synced to me, so I moved it back a frame. That looks a lot more synced. But you see what I mean? And so you could have synced this just by syncing the first shot, cut it, sync the second shot, you know? But it just doesn't look the same as this. So yeah, that's what I would do. And then yeah, that's basically just like the basics of velocity, and just play around with it basically, because you're not going to learn if you don't just kind of screw around with it. So yeah, do that.